If you want to know how to use the Momcozy S12 Pro breast pump, then stick around, as in this video, I am going to walk you through step by step how to use the Momcozy S12 Pro, including all the different components, how to assemble them, as well as how to use the settings. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. It really does help. And if you want more how-to videos, product reviews, and general tips and tricks, then make sure to subscribe. All right, so let's dive in and first take a look at the different components that make up the Momcozy S12 Pro. So I will pull this apart. The thing I love about the S12 Pro is that there are very minimal parts to it. This is great for not just maintaining it, but also for cleaning. Now to start, you have your pump motor. This is the brain of your pump. This is what you need to make it work. Next, you have your flange. I also like to call this a breast shield. It is a standard 24mm flange. The thing I love about this with the Momcozy S12 Pro is that you have this extra flap. Now, this is a cushion for your breast. It also helps to give you an added seal. Next, you have your collection cup. This is where all the milk gets collected. You have a diaphragm, a linker, and your duckbill valve. So let's take a look then at how these all go together. First step is to connect the diaphragm to your linker. Now this just slides over the top. You just need to push it down to make sure that you have an adequate seal. Now, having an adequate seal is the utmost importance for your breast pump. You want to make sure that you have that seal so it creates a vacuum for your pumping. Next step is to attach your duckbill valve to your linker. Now, you want to make sure that the flat edge lines up with the opening. And again, we are just going to push that down, making sure we have a great seal. Now, the next step is to connect your completed linker to your collection cup. You can see that you have these little bits on the side. They are going to line up with the inserts on the inside of your collection cup. So we are going to line them up a little bit visually, then push in your diaphragm, and then you are going to want to just maneuver it slightly until they click into place. You can turn it over to the other side and you will see how your connection is, and that is nice and secure. Next step is to connect your flange to the collection cup. Now, you'll see on this that there is a shorter part on the seal. Now that is also in line with the wording on your flange. This part goes up on the top, and the reasoning for that, you can also see there's a little arrow there. The reasoning for that is you want it to align so you will have your pouring spout at the end to be able to pour all your milk. So first is pushing in the flange into the linker, and you want to make sure that's in as far as it will go. Then you are going to want to lift the seal a little bit until it clips over, and then run your fingers all the way around, making sure that the seal is getting that little bit of a click and going on nice and firm. Again, this is going to prevent any leaks and ensure that you have a great vacuum and suction. I like to run my fingers just around the edge, just given how important that step is. And then the last step is to connect your motor. You can see that they line up, and so you just simply want to slide that on and make sure you get the clicking sound. And the last step is to turn it on to make sure you have adequate battery and it is all functioning. All right, so that is your completed pump. Let's take a look at the settings and how to use it. Now, the one thing I love about the S12 Pro is it has this memory function. So you can see that this is automatically turned on to the last settings that I had. We are going to change this so I can run you through all the different settings and how to use it. So to start with, you have 3 different modes. They are operated by the cycle buttons. First, you have the heart, which is your stimulation mode. Now this initiates your letdown. You can hear the suction is short and sharp. And this is just to initiate your flow of your milk. Now, once that is flowing, you are going to want to change over your pump mode to either the expression, which is the droplet. Now, this is a long drawn out pump, and this is just to extract the milk. So if you're listening, they are long drawn out. But what I love about the S12 Pro is that it also has a third mixed mode. So if you click the cycle button again until you get both the heart and the droplet symbol, now this is a mix of both the short, sharp, as well as the long drawn out suctions. Now, you may prefer just to have it on the expression or the mix. That is something you are going to need to trial to see what works best for you. What I love too is this is really simple and easy to use with just the 4 buttons. But next, after you've figured out what mode you should be on, we need to look at your suction level. So that is operated either by the minus or the plus button. There are 9 different suction levels, and you can increase them by using the plus or decrease them by using the minus button. Now, I do recommend that you start on a 2 to a 3 suction level. Basically, starting at a 9 is probably going to be quite uncomfortable until you are used to it, or you may never need to go up to a 9. It really just depends on you and what you are comfortable with. Now, I should say that it's really important to maintain your comfort level. You may think going to the strongest suction is going to be best because it's the most powerful, but that's not how pumping works. Your comfort level is going to be just as important. So really start down on a lower and then see how you go, and then increase if you are feeling comfortable and you are wanting to see if you get more output. Okay, so once you have that, you can pause by just pressing the power button at any time. And while we're on pause, I'll just point out that the S12 Pro comes with this timer, inbuilt timer, absolutely fantastic for tracking your pumping sessions. So that's a huge win for me. You can also see there is a 3 dots at the bottom. It goes up to 4 bars. Now that is your battery life. Now, as the bars reduce, your battery power is reducing, and it will flash when you are just about out of battery. So it is very simple. You'll see that the light has also turned off. That turns off after 15 seconds of you not touching any buttons, which I absolutely love. It just gives you extra discretion, or if you're pumping in the nighttime, it just reduces that light that's emitted, so you're not going to be disturbing your sleep. You can then just press the power button or any button and that light will come back on. To turn off your pump or to turn it on, you just hold in the power button. Now, if you forget to turn off your pump, it does have an automatic 30-minute shut off, so that will save your battery, but also is a great inbuilt safety feature. Now, once you have finished your pumping, well, I should actually say, when you are going to first put your pump on with your breast, you need to make sure that the flange is aligned centrally with your nipple, so it goes nice and straight on. Once you have that and you have finished your pumping session, you are going to want to lean forward slightly, then get your fingers and move them in between your breast or your nipple, and slowly release that suction. You don't want to be pulling your nipple and the pump out, because that is going to be painful and cause damage. So you lean forward slightly, break the seal, and then remove the pump. Once you have done that, you remove the motor, and you can see on here that there is a pouring spout, so you can simply pour your breast milk into your container. Once you have finished and you have removed all the breast milk, you are then going to pull all the parts apart, and you are going to wash any of the parts that have come into contact with the breast milk. Your motor does not need to be cleaned other than a wipe down if that is what you are wanting to do. With the Momcozy, they are hand wash in warm soapy water. These are not dishwasher safe, so that is something to keep in mind. Once you've done that, you can put your pump back together. I also highly recommend that you recharge your pump so it is full battery when you are ready to pump next. You simply take your USB charger, it goes into the port, and pop that on charge. After that, you are all set and ready to go. Now, if you have any questions on how to use the Momcozy S12, then please write a comment and I will answer it the best I can. And I hope this video helps. Happy pumping.